Hey cats, what's happening? I'm itching for a ride today, but that's not going to happen. Temperatures are down in the teens today, and the wind chill is even colder, so I don't think the bike's coming out of the garage. In fact, the bike's been in the garage for almost 2 months now because of the weather here in Northeast Ohio, and it's probably going to stay in there for a couple more months. What I'm going to do today is give you a few tips on how to winterize your bike and let that baby rest in peace for the winter season, so she'll be ready to roll when you get it out in the spring. The one thing you'll want to do for sure is top off your gas tank. Before you put it away for the winter, you'll want to fill this gas tank up. That'll keep the moisture out of there, keep the whole tank full of fuel. Now the other thing you can do is put some fuel additives in there, a fuel stabilizer. When you put the fuel stabilizer in there, follow the instructions, let the engine run for a little while, and get that fuel stabilizer all through the carburetor and through the system. That'll keep your carb and your fuel system from gumming up, and you won't have those kind of carburation fuel problems in the spring when you go to fire it up. Probably another wise thing to do is change the oil in the oil filter. Now your oil and your filter gets full of chemical particles, just some oddball stuff, maybe even a little bit of moisture. So it's good to drain that out and put some fresh stuff in. And that'll keep your whole engine from having any little minute corrosives in there that might damage the engine when it sits for a long time. One of the more important things to do also is to check the battery. This bike sits in the cold. I don't have the I can see my breath today. I don't have that option of having a heated garage. So I take the battery out and put it in the house where it stays warm. You can even hook it up to a trickle charger where it keeps a little current going through it. I don't like to keep it on the charger all the time. I think sometimes you can fry your battery doing that. I've heard pros and cons. You can do it either way, leave it on for all winter, but I like to just make sure it has a charge, and then I'll leave it sit for a while. In the springtime, then you'll have to put your battery back in, make sure all your connections are clean and everything before you start it, obviously. Before you're ready to wheel it into the garage, give it a good bath. Clean it real good, dry it off real well, and then get a nice coat of wax on it. That'll protect the finish. In an environment like this, there's humidity and moisture in the air, and you want to protect your bike from that the best you can. That's why it's best to keep your bike in a heated garage if you have that option. If you cover the bike, don't use plastic or one of those blue plastic tarps or anything like that. Those things hold moisture in, believe it or not. You can buy some pretty nice motorcycle covers, and they're made of a breathable fabric. They'll keep the dust and the dirt off your bike, and they'll let it breathe so that the moisture doesn't build up on it. Moisture is your worst enemy over the winter. Once you get it pulled in the garage, parked, everything's cleaned, fuel's filled up, oil's changed, everything's ready to go, lock it up, secure it, and park it out of the way where you're not going to drop a snow shovel on it or where somebody's going to ram into it with a snowblower or something like that. I think it's important to take care of your bike. You know, if you take care of it, it'll take care of you, and it'll be ready to go for the next season. And you'll be able to put a lot more miles on this thing. You know, there's a lot of dealers, too, that'll help you out with this. If you're not mechanically inclined or you're not quite sure how to do things, they have a lot of programs where you can actually take your bike in there. They'll do all the winterizing, and they'll even store it in a warm, climate-controlled building. In the spring, you just need to go pick it up. Of course, it's going to cost you. So it's a little cheaper to do it for yourself and keep the bike at home where you can keep an eye on it. Well, until things warm up and thaw out around here, this cat won't be riding on two wheels. I'm going to have to warm up the pickup truck here and thaw it out in a little bit so I can head into town. But I got to come out and check on her, make sure she's in good shape. Until then, you ride hard and die free.